Hey guys, the dating god here. We are going to talk about today the best chance to get your ex back. If anything will work, this is what will work. You've probably heard of the no contact rule before. It's been around on the internet for a while now, but there's some nuances to it and some ways that it works and some understandings, some misunderstandings in the no contact rule. So we're going to go over the absolute best chance to get your ex back because you probably already begged, pleaded, texted them, chased them, and then you probably tried to convince them that you've already changed and they're not having it. They're not messaging you back, and you feel basically helpless at this point in time. You feel like it could be over forever. You don't know if you can get them back. You don't know what to say, and you're trying to come up with the perfect magic line to get them back. Stop all that. Stop trying to throw a Hail Mary. Stop trying all these different techniques to get them back. You already know the technique. You already have the technique. It's no contact. Why no contact? Because this person has left you and walked away from you, and they said they no longer want you in their life. So you need to fight fire with fire. They've walked away from you, so fight fire with fire by walking away from them. Turn around, walk away from them. At first it'll just look like you're ignoring them, or you've kind of given up for a second and you're just going to message them later. And that's what they're expecting, is that you're just going to take some time off, a week or two, and message them again, or 3 weeks or a month, and then you're going to message them again, and you're going to reappear, and you're going to try to be subtle and smooth and try to message them like you're not trying to get them back, and they're going to easily sense that you are trying to get them back, and they're going to say in their minds, well, yep, here they are. I knew they were going to message me back. I knew they weren't going to give up. They were just letting things calm down, and they were going to message me again. That's where the power of no contact comes in. When you go into no contact, you're never messaging them or contacting them again. You're disappearing. You're pushing them through the stages of no contact, where at first they feel relief. Then after they're relieved, like, I got that over. I'm glad I got it over. I finally broke up with him. Things were kind of rocky. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't into him as much. Things didn't feel right. I need a break. I need space. I finally got it over, okay? That only lasts a couple weeks of time, that relief stage. Then after that, they go into curiosity because you've disappeared off the face of the planet, okay? And I talk about all these stages that I'm going through right now. I talk about all that in my X-Back kit on thedatinggod.com if you want to check the link below. But basically, after they go into curiosity, they're thinking about you. They slowly start to think about you. They're thinking about you more and more each day because you've basically vanished off the face of the earth. And they're starting to remember the things that you would talk about day to day, that connection you had day to day, that you were there, that you were around, that they were a big part. You were a big part of each other's lives, and now you've just vanished. So it doesn't make sense in their mind at the meeting place of emotion and logic that you've just vanished, because it's so hard to do. Most people can't do no contact because it's so difficult. And that's how you know that it's working and that it works and that it's effective. Most people can't do it. So in a way, it catches them off guard because it's so counterintuitive and contrarian, and it's kind of just like a whoa moment for them. So they start to think about you more and more. As they become more curious, like, where did you go? What are you doing? Did you really just walk away on them just like they walked away on you? Could you really just walk away back on them that easily? And yes, you are. That's what you are doing. You're basically saying, I'm not going to put up with this, because if you don't want me, then I don't want you either, and I'm going to walk away back on you. I'm not going to chase you and try to convince you. I already did that at the start. It's already done. I don't need to do that anymore. I've already tried that. You can't keep. It's like the definition of insanity. You can't keep doing the same things over and over and over, expecting different results. And that's where no contact comes in as well, because you're not doing the same things over and over anymore. You already tried that. You already chased them. You already tried to convince them. You already said, I'll change. You already tried to get them back with you, and it didn't work. And I talk about all that in my X-Back kit and on thedatinggod.com. And what happens next is they're going to go into a super curiosity phase, basically, where now it's like getting really serious, where they haven't heard from you for like a month because you've been in no contact, a month and a half. And now it's really growing. It's like a giant pot of water. Think of a giant pot of water that it's bigger than a pot you'd have on your stove. And it's starting to show bubbles in the water, but it's not simmering or boiling yet. That's where they're starting to get, the water is starting to bubble. And when it gets to a boiling point, that's where you're trying to get them. That's when they would reach out, because they miss you so much, and there's so much separation anxiety, and they remember all the good times, and they realize how much they really did care about you and how great of a thing you really did have. And they realize it's not that easy to find a connection in someone new, and maybe they did just need a break and a reset. But they start to realize, you know what, maybe I messed up. This was stupid of me. Why did I do that? Maybe I was overreactive. This now, I miss them. I want to see them. I want to talk to them. Where did they go? I have zero connection with them now. They've disappeared. So it really starts to mess with their head. It really starts to bother them. And that pot of water starts to bubble in the super curiosity phase, which takes a month and a half of being in absolute no contact. When they get into that month and a half, that's when it starts to bubble. It starts to simmer more and more day after day. So from you haven't contacted them, talked to them, any social media, any texting, any reaching out to their family, nothing. You're just absolutely silent. You're not talking to their friends. You're not talking to anyone. After that 45-day mark of a month and a half of no contact with them, it starts to bubble. It starts to simmer. It's simmering more and more and more. Okay? They're starting to think about you. Even though if things got, a little bit rough there at the end of the relationship, as long as the relationship was pretty good and you had a good thing going, it's going to start to affect them. It's really going to start to get to them. Just because they said things like, we'll never be together again, I don't love you anymore, I don't have feelings for you anymore, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Throw all that into the trash. Throw all that out the window. Those are just random sayings that actually have no bearing on them coming back or not. They're not important right now. They're not really important in general, okay? So throw that out the window, okay? If you want some information on like your specific situation, you can schedule a coaching call with me on my website. But basically, what's going on is it's just an emotional reaction that they're kind of overwhelmed in the relationship and they want out of it. And they say these different things so that you won't fight them, so that you won't continue to fight them and try to fix it. They're basically trying to just shut you down to just end the relationship. But it's just a concept in their mind that they want the relationship over. It's just a concept in their mind. What we're doing with no contact and fighting fire with fire is we're forcing them to actually experience it in real time, right here, right now. Experience that you're actually gone. They can't know that they don't want to be with you if you don't let them experience it. And that's you being gone for months, up to 3 months, 4 months. That's you being completely gone. Give it to them. If that's what they say they want, give it to them and let them actually experience it real time. Because when they first broke up with you, it was just a concept that they thought they wanted. So let them realize that it's not what they want and let them come back to you. That's why exes come back a lot of the time, okay? So it's kind of there's a lot of dynamics going on here. It is getting your ex back can be fragile. There's a lot of nuances here and mistakes can be hard to recover from. That's why I do the coaching calls. It's why I have the ex back kit. But basically, your best chance at getting them back is the no contact rule. You're basically vanishing. You're not waiting 30 days of no contact and then reaching out to them. No, they're going to sense that. They're going to know that you're back to get them back. You're not going to be able to reach out casually and just slowly wade back into getting them back. That's not going to work. You're going to go into no contact. What you want to do is go into no contact, stay in no contact, and you're not reaching out to them. Let them, force them reach out to you. If they're able to break up with you, walk away from you, and never come back, then you shouldn't want to be with that person anyways. But we're looking at no contact here, and the odds are very, very high and very, very good for you. Yes, you listening right now, the odds are very, very, very good for you that they are going to come back using the no contact rule because of the psychology of it. They're going to go into that relief stage. Then they're going to become curious. Then they're going to become super curious. And then at the end, when they reach out, they're going to have a feeling of loss and a fear of loss. That's why you panicked at the start. You panicked because you feared that you might lose them forever. So you panic and you go crazy. And they're in control. Okay? When you walk away and you stay in no contact for an extended period of time, it allows it to build, where it finally hits them. just like it hit you, it finally hits them, that they may lose you forever. They start to feel the loss and they start to have fear of losing you forever. And that's when it hits them. And that's when they'll reach out and that's when they'll talk to you. And that's where they can even get desperate and chase you, no matter how improbable that sounds. Okay. So this is your best chance of getting your ex back, is following this process. Watch more of my videos if you want to know more about this process and how it works, but it is your best chance at getting your ex back. This is the Dating God. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.